A moment to reflect. Thousands had gathered in Barcelona's main square, Plaza de Catalunya, to observe a minute's silence and remember those killed in the terrorist attack. Led by the King of Spain, King Felipe, and joined by Prime Minister Mariano Rajoy, the silence soon erupted into a lengthy applause. An eruption of noise and defiance. That was followed by chants of no tenc por, or we are not afraid.
Of course, it's a moment to respect victims and give support to families and friends that are suffering. And I think that our message today in Barcelona, even under shock, is that we want to keep being a city of peace, of tolerance and democracy and human rights.
Among those making a clear stand against the atrocities, members of the Muslim community who have been quick to denounce the attack.
We should condemn this, and it is also a responsibility to inform people that Islam and the true Islamic teachings and the Holy Quran do not support in any manner the actions of these people, and we should always condemn violence wherever it comes from.
Les Ramblas, the scene of the attack, reopened early in the morning. The various bunches of flowers dotted along the pedestrianised area act as a grim reminder to the atrocity. Many visitors unable to contain their emotions. Others realised just how lucky they were to escape.
In the faces of all the people that we saw was just terror, just across the board. Everyone who I saw was just very shocked and scared of what happened. And a lot of people didn't know exactly what was going on, besides the fact that people were getting injured and that everyone was scared. So naturally, we were just trying to run out of there as quick as we could.
As locals and tourists alike paid their respects to the victims of these attacks, there remains a sense of unease and anger. But without doubt, the overriding feeling is of unity and defiance. Dan Williams, CGTN, Barcelona.
And Dan Williams joins us live from Barcelona with more insight in those investigations. Dan, what's the latest on investigations into the Barcelona attack? Yes, for police forces here, the key focus is on locating Yunus Abu Yaqub. Now, he is the only suspect that police have so far listed who hasn't either been either shot and killed or indeed arrested. Now, it's according to the local police here now, starting to suspect that he might well have been the driver for the attack that took place here in Barcelona. For a long time, that police thought, or certainly that it was speculated, that Musa Ukhabib, the 17-year-old whose brother's documents were used to hire the van, that he was the key focus for the attack here. But according to local police, they now, in an interview with local radio, suggest that that is less likely, and hence this focus on Yunus Abu Yaqub. Now, certainly, as far as the police here, they're continuing to investigate in the town of Ripoll. Now, that is where Yunus himself resided, and also where 3 arrests have been made. It's a small town on the border, 11,000 people on the border with France in the Pyrenees, and there's real astonishment there that that the attackers, that the suspects that have resided there during the town. So investigations continuing there. Investigations also continuing in Alcanar, which is of course where there was a house explosion on Wednesday evening. That police say is also linked to the attacks. So those elements together forming very much the focus of the police investigation as they attempt to locate this final suspect that has been named so far. And certainly as far as Spanish authorities here are concerned, they're looking at whether to higher the terror threat level from the current level of 4 up to 5. And in that case, certainly with having a suspect at large, that will play on their minds as well as they make that decision. And Dan, 2 more people were killed in knife attacks in Finland. What's being done to enhance security across Europe? Well, certainly here in Spain and across Europe, it's the key focus has been on how to stop these very low-key type attacks from happening. Certainly the vehicle attacks that have happened here in Barcelona and also across the coastline, very difficult to guard against such attacks. And certainly in terms of the knife attack, we've seen that in the past as to how it's sometimes just a lone wolf attacker who suddenly becomes radicalized, is not on any security force radar, and very difficult therefore to locate and to stop such events from happening. Here in Spain, it's one of the most dedicated to, in terms of intelligence investment that has gone on. Since 2004 there was the Atocha train bombings attacks. Since 2004 they've arrested something in the region of more than 700 suspected jihadists. That underlines just how serious they take this move in terms of intelligence, in terms of taking out suspected jihadists and not waiting perhaps for a later stage to gain more information. The idea here is to very much get on the front foot and to stop any kind of planning before it's able to take root. But of course, with these attacks, these fresh attacks across Europe, all of these elements will be needed to be reviewed, of course, as they come to decide whether what is certainly in place at the moment, whether it's enough, whether further either intelligence or whether further policing is required. But the bottom line is it's very difficult to guard against these kind of attacks.